Hello, hello, hello. Rosende reads. What's going on? Okay, I'm just catching up on. Hello, y'all. Hello, everybody. Hi, hi, hi. Here we are. Everyone's joining in right now, which is pretty great. How am I doing? These last couple weeks have been very busy. A lot of work, and then coming back and forth to LA for me. So busy, very busy, but fun. A little tired, but fun. Birthday weekend was great. We had a good little party, and people came, and it was a good day. It was a good day. Happy almost pancake day. Thank you. Greetings from Belgium. Hello. It's actually 1 a.m. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Our birthday was Our birthday was great. My birthday was great. Thank you guys for asking. Thank you, Camille, for stopping by. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Same here, man. Coronavirus is taking over here. They're closing supermarkets, cinemas, schools. Everyone's been freaking out. Oh, wow. Really? That's pretty... Maybe we can read a book about that. We'll talk about that later. Yeah, Rita, that does sound pretty terrible. Stay safe. Yeah, this is have you guys seen my book? My small little library so far? That's me and Tessa's books all put together. And then we have another bookshelf upstairs. This is pretty much it. So, yeah. Okay. But to be short, I'm liking the book, but can't focus on the writing. So I've mostly been listening to it and enjoying it. Inspiring me to read. Okay, library is so cool. Yeah, it's a nice little section. We even have in this section that comes across that row, that's all film, TV, theater, and plays and whatnot. Down at the bottom there, that's My Mortal Instruments copies, and these are Tessa's up here. Giving them a tour of the library.
Nice, the small library.
The small library. Everyone says hi, T.
Hi.
T will not be joining us today. She's actually going to make me a matcha latte, which is pretty sweet. I'm pretty excited about it. So in a few minutes, you'll see it, and we can all judge it together.
Oh my
God. Can I do a book challenge on one of my next lives? What does that mean? What do you mean a book challenge? Like where I take a picture of all of my books and say book challenge, post a picture of your books? Actually, we should look into seeing if Freeform is still doing that thing, a shelfie, where if you post a picture of you with the book in your bookshelf, they'll donate books. So I'm going to look into that, and if that's the case, we will do it, because that would be awesome. Rita said, we won't judge it, we will appreciate it. We love you, Tessa.
Thank you, Rita.
Tessa said through scone-filled mouth, Uncle Rita. So, let's jump into the book. Let's do first one-word thoughts. When can I expect your next show or movie? Wednesday night, Chicago. We have actually a pretty cool crossover coming in with an older character from PD who's coming back. It's pretty sweet. I like reading this book, but I'm so sick I can't really enjoy it. It makes me feel sad. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Stop dissing on Tessa and her food, man. I've never done it. Okay, what do we think of the book? Warm? Is that about the book? Book is great, but slow. Better than my childhood memories. My word, I'm attached now. Amazing. Okay. My first one-word thought, family. Yes, I will say that. I really like the book. Love Joe. Okay. Loving the book so far. It's so fresh, and I wish I had lived my teenage years like the March sisters are. Joe March is my emotional support character. All right. I find it very difficult to get through. So for me, this book would be characterized by the word of endurance. Which is bad. Like, I'm not saying the book is bad. I'm saying it's absolutely lovingly charming. And that's what I've been telling Tessa. I think it's absolutely charming. I think the characters are all lovely and full of life. I love how innocent and beautiful the relationship between the March family and Lori and Mr. Lawrence as well. Like, that whole thing is wonderful. And then the little tidbits of father serving in the war, that is, I think, lovely. I'm finding this book very difficult to get through. I think it's slow paced. I think it reminds me of Anne of Green Gables in some way, except I don't want you to get mad at me, but except for me, Anne of Green Gables, the plot line was Anne, an orphan from a part of Prince Edward Island, gets mistaken for a boy and then rescued by this lovely family who teaches her a bunch of things about life, and she grows as a human being, and it's lovely. Right now, this book feels like the March sisters just living. And that's cool. Like, it's beautiful to read about what they do with their day and, like, the stories they tell each other, and then this, the group that they're a part of that, where is it? Page. Hold on. Where is it? The Pickwick Portfolio. Love that. But I find Anne was easier to get through. I find this book so, like, every 10 minutes I'm looking up because I feel like I've read so much, but really it's all about how, like, Meg, the way she sits, it's all like, so what's happening? That's how I feel. But I can't deny that I think it's beautifully written, and I think that it's a supremely charming book. One of the most charming books I think we've read. All right, so I'm scrimming back up to start reading your comments out loud. So I have. I'm gonna go from okay. Speaking of Little Women, who's your favorite sister? I really love Jo March. Are you ever coming to England? I really appreciate Beth, but I'll explain that later. Yeah, warm as in, like, I read it and feel all cozy and warm and content. Yes, it is a very warm book, and I want to read it like Stella was yesterday by a fire and fall asleep. Kind of like I did. I'm a bit behind. Oh, and I will admit, guys, because it's been very hard for me to get through, I am behind as well. I haven't read to page 200, or, chapter 20. So if you comment on things past that, I will read them aloud, but I won't be able to comment past that, if that's cool. You quit months ago, Amanda. We are reading little. I'm pinning the book, guys. You'd be so proud. You didn't have to ask me this time. Oh no! I just remember that. Nope. Oh god. There we go. I just remember that pinning it, and posting a comment, it would literally, like, go all the way down to the bottom. I'd skip all the comments that I had just. I feel like when I read I felt like this when I read the other Anne books, not the first, but number 2 and 3. Okay, I agree with Alberto. Anne was easier to get through. Thank you. I just had an FBI agent come to my door. One of my neighbors is in big trouble. We can't wait to hear about that story later. I have often think about Anne as well. In every book, I can find Anne things, and I totally adore it. Yeah. You talk and keep looking at Tessa like, am I saying the right thing? As if she's going to throw coffee at you. I mean, she has all the ingredients over there. I get it. It can be quite slow. Thank you. In the end, they're different books, though. I formal feel this way. But you're right. The book is lovely, but lacks some depth. Thank you. So it's not just me. For a second, I felt like this terrible person who was like, couldn't really enjoy this charming book that's been around forever. I was like, what's wrong with me? A lot less trauma-inducing than what my teenage years were. I love Jo, the characters I find easy to attach to, and the book is slower than what I'm used to. And Shirley, you still have my heart. I agree. The quote about October is similar to Anne of Green Gables, and I was happy. Yes, I've loved rereading this book. Okay, wonderful. I felt like that with Catch-22. Okay, I felt like this in a different way with Catch-22, because Catch-22 at times I felt like it was all going over my head, whereas here I feel like I'm getting everything. It's just taking forever to get it. I'm like, in a way, I'm like, all right, can you get to the important part of the story now? Like, that's how I feel. Very compelling. Okay, good. You have to watch Little Women when you finish reading the book. I love the movie so much now I'm addicted to the book. Okay, will that help me read the book if I watch the movie? Because maybe I'll do that. Charming, completely out of our time. You read The Infernal Devices? No, I haven't read those. Yes, the book is very well written, and charming is the right word to describe it. I agree. I'm still getting the sisters mixed up. I have problems to say who is who. You should listen to an audiobook. I think that's the vibe. Totally adored it. Actually surprised you aren't loving the book. Really? I can't get through it. I'm having... Sorry. Thanks, T. Well, thank you, Tessa, for making me this beautiful sandwich. Oh, that's delicious. I read it ages ago and rereading it. Introduction did say the author was really only writing a book about characters' actions and really not more than that. That makes it so much clearer. I'm still behind as well. Ha! Not only me. Good. Well, I mean, not good, but good. Not caught up. Love your shirt. My brother was 82nd Airborne. Hell yeah, my cousin was in the 82nd. And my parents lived on Fort Bragg for a couple years, so... Huh? Do you remember the introduction? Did I read the introduction? I had to have read it. I always read the introduction. There was no introduction in my book. Yeah, I don't have an introduction. Interesting. We have a slight preface. No introduction for me. Interesting. My fave characters are Beth and Mr. Laurie. Aren't they such a lovely relationship duo? Like, they're so endearing. I pinned it, right? Managed to finish it in time. Good boy, you're pinning the book title. Yeah, thank you guys. Sorry, I know we're way past that. I'm just now reading through those. Oh, okay, you binge read like 10 chapters yesterday. Hell yeah. Wanted to read ahead, but I am strong. But next time you can. You can always read ahead. Just be able to talk only about the parts you'd already read. You know what I mean? But this book is an enjoyable read, and I've been reading it on a train to college, which is a nice feeling. I will say there's something quite refreshing about this book, in terms also of what we've read in the past. Like, Man's Search for Meaning was like a heavy, psychological book about this man going through this tempestuous time at a concentration camp and him finding meaning from it. So there was this deep thing, and Frank was similar. But then when we look at other books, like this one, to me, feels like a good way to start a day. Like, you wake up, you get your coffee, and then you read maybe a chapter of this book. And it's like really refreshing and lovely and nothing too heavy. And don't forget to watch the movie. I will, and I promise when I do, I will bring it up. Matcha time! Matcha time!
Is it kind of small?
No, it's delicious. Let me see. Oh my God, T. That's amazing.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I don't need to interrupt.
Oh my God. So Alcott, Annie Hansen, you know what? Thank you for being this awesome, person. You know what? If we added you to go live with me and talk about the history of this book that you seem to kind of know a good amount, could we do that? Let me just keep reading, and then when I talk, we paused. Okay. The mean part of me wants to be like, I could kind of tell it's written out of spite because it's a little boring, but that's the mean part of me. I need to admire that it was hard to stop reading. Oh, okay, cool. I read this for the first time not long ago, and I can't wait to read it again. I find a way to identify with each of the sisters. And I think that's something really cool, is you do find a way to identify with each character. And maybe because he's one of the few prominent males in this story, that I'm finding myself attached to Laurie, but I think Laurie is just such a charming. I've read the book in the past. It wasn't bad, but I can't bring myself to read it again. All good, no need. I was getting my notes ready, and the internet spoiled me. I'm sad. I'm sorry. I just watched the movie last week, finally, and I adored it. Practically shed tears when I sat in the theater. Alcott and her publisher both thought the book was dull, but it was intended to be a book for younger girls. That's a theme with me, I've noticed. The books that we've seen that were either written by younger girls or intended to be for younger girls, I've tended to not find as much interest in for me. But at the same time, Angie Thomas, The Hate You Give, I loved. So, I don't know if that was meant for younger girls. I feel like that was meant for a lot of people. I gotta be honest, I really loved the movie, the one directed by Greta. I watched it like 5 times and I wish the book made me feel the same way, but it's really slow. Okay, good, I'm glad it's not just me. Shout out to Tessa for the delicious sandwich. Everyone, shout out to Tessa. Still behind, so don't worry. I tried reading to catch up yesterday and I barely got 3 pages done. So this is a theme. I want one of the sandwiches Tessa made. Okay, guys, I'm gonna out Tessa here. We ordered them from Uber Eats, and she just prepared it on a plate for me.
Oh my god, we really love it.
She didn't make the sandwich. She didn't, kill the turkey and chop the tomatoes that we picked out of our luscious garden. She did make the latte, and I have to say, this is one of the best matcha lattes I've ever had.
What are you trying to get?
Some sugar. Love this book. Slow when I read it. I just feel free. I forget all my life in these few days. I need. Okay, all right. I'm behind too, and I'm actually reading in English instead of German. Well, congratulations, because I guarantee you're more ahead than if I tried to read it in German. If I tried to read it in German, we would be on the first paragraph of chapter 1, and it would not be a very eventful live. Reading the book, first time I read it was my summer reading, but I did feel like I was reading the book forever and wasn't getting away, but I do love the calm atmosphere it gives, right? It does make me feel very calm. Rita did not get her coffee today, and you know why? Because Rita doesn't like coffee. Not a very Virgo thing, but still. Aw, you can get tea. There are other beverages. Or matcha, which is what I like. Alberto was totally going to swear just now. I was. Alright, I'm scrolling down. Is it my connection or yours? Okay, so that was my thing. Oh, God. Okay, I'm just going to skip to the bottom. I'm sorry. Oh, I wasn't that far away. Still made you a latte and put the sandwich on the plate for you? Yeah, she did. It was awesome. Okay, then we will bring sandwiches at the meeting duo in Paris because that room is going to be full of Rosende's readers. Do you think if I talked to them and had us hijack it into a Rosende Reads meeting, they'd be cool with that? Like if we did a live meeting, so we had some of the book club members there and other ones that couldn't be there. I'm gonna actually talk to Paris about that because that'd be pretty.
Make sure everybody that's going is
Yeah, and that's another thing. If you guys have already bought tickets and stuff, it would have to be okay. Or maybe I can see if I can put. I think we're back. I haven't been crashing. If you guys have, I'm sorry. Let me see something. I'm going to read something to you guys really quickly. In my book, doesn't have an introduction, like I said. It just has this little entry where it's Louisa May Alcott was born in Germantown, Pennsylvania in 1832. The second of 4 daughters of Abigail May Alcott and Bronson Alcott, the prominent transcendentalist thinker and social reformer. Raised in Concord, Massachusetts, and educated by her father, Alcott early on came under the influence of the great men of his circle. Emerson, Hawthorne, the preacher Theodore Parker, and Thoreau. From her youth, Louisa worked at various tasks to help support her family, sewing, teaching, domestic service, and writing. In 1862, she volunteered to serve as an army nurse in a Union hospital during the Civil War, an experience that provided her material for her first successful book, Hospital Sketches. Between 1863 and 1869, she published several anonymous and pseudonymous how do you say that? Pseudonymous Gothic romances and lurid thrillers. But fame came with the publication of her Little Women, a novel based on the childhood adventures of her 4 Alcott sisters, which received immense popular acclaim and brought her financial security, as well as the conviction to continue her career as a writer. In the wake of Little Women's popularity, she brought in An Old-Fashioned Girl, Little Men, 8 Cousins, Rose and Bloom, Joe's Boys, and other books for children, as well as 2 adult novels, Moods and Work. An active participant in the women's suffrage and temperance movements during the last decade of her life, Alcott died in Boston in 1888, on the day her father was buried. Aw, that's sad. No, it's pseudonym mouse, M-O-U-S. I've never seen it because they're saying anonymous and pseudonymous. Oh, pseudonymous.
There you go.
There we go. But yeah, weird word. That's cool. It's based on the life of her and her 4 sisters, which I think is lovely. I don't know if many of you know, but from the years of 1862 to 1865, that was the American Civil War. I agree, Rita, but these little glimpses of their everyday life allows us to discover the characters, and I like it. I agree. I think we're just kind of seeing... Oh my gosh, guys, Tessa's doing the whole chef service right now. This is lovely. Mine doesn't either, but also, does anyone else have opinions about the characters? Like, I feel like I can't say much about the plot because nothing is actually happening. It's like we're watching a reality show of what the marches do during their free time. Rita, this is why we're homies, because I totally agree. Estela Cruz, bájate de la mesa. Tú sabes que no deberías estar parado en la mesa cuando tenemos comida. Bájate, gracias. So, So yeah, I 100% agree with you. Mine has a prologue and a biography of the author. It is said it is the complete version of the book. Wow. Wait, there's an anime? She knows better. Stella knows better than get on the table if we have food. Claro. Estela's bilingüe. Bilingüe, right? That's the word. Stella speaks both, but when she gets in trouble, she gets spoken to in Spanish. But also when we're cuddling, so it's I think it's very confusing for her. But the tone, I think, says it all. Do I speak Spanish with Tessa?
Yes.
I do. Does Tessa understand me?
No.
No, she does not. Do I still do it anyway?
Yes.
Yes, I do. No, so... Oh, that's hilarious. Keeping Up with the Kardashians, the prequel, is Little Women. Google Tales of Little Women for anime. Oh, okay, cool. I miss... What about Italian? I'm still learning. Sto imparando. Amy is a brat. You guys think Amy's a brat? I think Amy is just... She's a little bratty. I think Beth is just so adorable. How she's always so, like, timid and nervous, but then with the allowance of her to play music at Mr. Lawrence's house, it's kind of, like, opened her up, and she's become more bold, and I think that's, like, a lovely little arc we've gotten to see, at least as far as I've read. I totally see the casting for this movie, though, in this book, which I think is pretty cool. To look at the movie casting and be like, yeah, I see Timothée Chalamet when I'm reading about, you know, Laurie, and I definitely 100% see Emma Watson reading about Meg, and you know, and Joe. I think Saoirse Ronan is perfect. Yeah, she didn't want to go, but then again, at that time, like, I wouldn't want to go to that school either, with teachers providing corporal punishment and a bunch of other little bratty kids. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the scene where the girl tells on, I think it's Amy for having her limes. I was like, She's a snitch. I was like, how dare she? And I was hoping that there was going to be a scene where the whole class was like on Amy's side after and like shunned that girl for having them all lose their lives, you know? And also, Amy told the truth when he was like, are these all of them? And she was like, no. And he made her like, oh. Yeah, Annie, I agree. Amy did get her mom to keep her out of school pretty easily. I think it'd be cool to have lived back then, though, because I think I would have read so many books. But then again, a lot of my favorite books would not have been written yet, so that would have been a very, very difficult thing. Then again, if I wasn't aware of that, I wouldn't know. And I probably would have read classics more, which is pretty cool. Hopefully, like, back then, although, like, they, you know, when Meg went to the wealthy people's party and, like, stayed with them for 2 weeks, I think that'd be fun to do a couple times, but not all the time. I felt so bad for her when those people were talking about her like that. It's so rude. Hi, Kyla, from South Africa. I don't think we've read any South African authors, have we? The African author that we've read was Nigerian. I don't think we've read a South African author. Any books you recommend? That's why he has such handsome black eyes and pretty manners. I suppose Italians are very nice. Okay, for a second I thought we started at 11, and I looked at the time and it's 12, and I was like, oh my god, is that an hour already? But good. Have we read any Romanian authors? No, we have not. Not that I remember. Hey, we read from Nigeria, but not from South Africa, so we gotta get on that. This is so good. Would I like to read a book in French one day? Yes, but I would like to speak French first. I feel like that's a little more important. You guys know I want to read all of the books. There's just so many books in so little time. So, but I would love to. Russian literature, I actually think I have a couple of books. Somewhere. Any fantasy recommendations? There's this really cool book series called The Mortal Instruments. That if you are into fantasy, you might like it. The vampire's the best character, though. Currently rereading The Alchemist or reading The Alchemist? Also, let me just show you guys something. You know that, like, I have a problem when I have 4 copies of The Alchemist because I accidentally kept buying it. And then you can also see that I'm a big Kurt Vonnegut fan because I have, like, a lot of Kurt Vonnegut books kind of spread throughout. And then I also have this book that Tessa got me, like, Kurt Vonnegut's amazing short stories. Oh, The Color Purple would be a great book to read. But you know, if we were going to read The Color Purple, I would want to bring back another Toni Morrison book as well, Beloved, the book that first made me fall in love with her writing. Did I arrange my books by color? No, the lovely Tessa arranged our books by color, which has made it actually very easy to find the books now. There's a couple Pops in there, Funko Pops in there, you might see them. Way to toot my own horn. Yeah, we read Fahrenheit. But wait, we have to stick to our book, guys. I know we're having trouble talking about it, but we gotta stick to it. But then again, is this not the way in which some of us have been reading the book, where we're heavily involved, and then all of a sudden we're like, well, forgot I was reading that. We still have so much left to read. We're gonna do it, though, guys. We're gonna do it. Does the book get better? I mean, yeah, I hope so. The Secret Life of Bees is a great book. Okay. What made me choose A Brief History of Time? I saw it and wanted to read it. Thought it looked really interesting, and it was very different than a lot of the things we've read, which is something I want to keep doing with our book club, because it's important to have different tastes, and it's important to... You might like a certain genre, and that's fine, but I think it's important to read other things. Just like it's important to discover things from other news sources you don't normally follow or agree with, it's important to listen to people of other opinions that you don't agree with or don't normally listen to or get the opportunity to, and it's important to see other cultures, because that's what makes us grow as people and brings us together. So this idea for this book was to bring us together. Yeah, what do you guys think about Joe and Lori? Great question, Rinred's Fantasy. Happy Sweet 16. What do you guys think of them? I love them. Stella Cruz. Señora, si vas a estar acá, tienes que sentar conmigo. Yeah, it might go completely over all of our heads, but then that'll be really fun lives to kind of talk about the ideas that we understand, and then hopefully try to teach each other the ones we don't. Pero ¿dónde vas? I love Joe and Lori. Are they a friendship? I think Joe has a little bit of a crush on Lori. What do you guys think? Joe totally has a crush on Lori, right? And they're great together. But I have a feeling Lori might think Joe's like super cool, and she might actually have a crush. He might actually have a crush on Meg. Okay. You think Lori is head over heels for her? Oh my gosh, Lori fared hard for Joe. Okay, good. I was thinking that too. Look at this. Look at this little cat. Look at her. What are you doing? Stella, bájate de la mesa, tú sabes. Okay. But Meg is out of his reach. You think so? Lori might put Joe in the bro zone. That's what I'm afraid is going to happen, though. But she's always defending him and stuff. But then again, I feel like I like that they're all siblings. Like, I like that they have this feeling that's very, brotherly, for lack of a better word, familial. They appreciate each other and they respect each other, and they have this, Meg is way out of his reach. Okay. Okay, have fun at school. Learn a lot. Joe probably to tell that he likes her at some point, but maybe she saw it as a friendship. Lori and Joe, it's the best friendship. But, oh no, you know things. Don't tell us. No. Goodness, this cat. She's very energetic today. How lovely was that? The food, and it was like doing something nice filled them in a way that they didn't think, it was absolutely lovely. I agree. There's an anime as Joe as a grown-up. That's pretty badass. Okay, but Amy burning Joe's book was such a dick move. Oh my god, yeah. Dudes, I was so mad for Joe, and then I was kind of mad that she forgave her, but then again, at the same time, like, I get it. If you have a sibling, you totally get it. Can I give a spoiler for anyone who hasn't read it? No, no spoilers. Who's my favorite sister? I like Joe a lot. I think she is like the favorite though. I think most people like Joe a lot. She did not deserve her book being burned. Amy should have done something less permanent. You know, so she couldn't go to a thing with her and Lori. Like, perfectly reasonable. That's some younger sister type shit. Excuse my language. I was raging about that, both in the book and the film. It was a step too far. It is way too far. Like, that'll never come back. She'll have another chance to go with them. But Joe will never get that book back. Like, so messed up. Oh yeah, I did feel bad for Joe and Amy almost drowned, but at the same time I was like, you should have burned that book then, Amy. I guess I'm very Team Joe in that circumstance. Oh, I'm sorry, Maddie McCall. We'll give you a shout out. As the youngest and most annoying sister, I kind of get it. Yeah, how old is Amy? I'm not really... I know that Meg is just shy of 17, right? She might have turned 17 at some point in the book, but where I am, she's shy of 17 still. How old is... And Amy's 15, right? Not Amy, Joe is 15, right? Okay. Cool. So we have about 20 minutes left. Well, they say that in the book, shy of 17, right? She goes, I'm just shy of 17. Does anyone have... Let's jump into quotes right now, because there's one that I read that I really liked. There's only one that I like... Hey, look who's back. Who's not supposed to be up here. Bájate la mesa, Estela, bájate. ¿Por qué sigues? Dudes, I had a quote, but I can't find it. had to be somewhere around page 40. I can't find it. Okay. Alright, Alberto, my 3-year-old bro just said hello with Little Wave. Oh, what's up, little man? Out of topic, man. Gallo in the last ep, I mean tears. Oh, thank you. Need to find the book. I like good, strong words that mean something. Love that quote. I'm just shy of 17. What characters of the Four Sisters were... Oh, what the characters of the Four Sisters were, we will leave to be found out. I like that. November is the most disagreeable month in the whole year. Work is wholesome and there's plenty for everyone. It keeps us from doing mischief and is good for health and spirits and gives us a sense of power and independence better than money or fashion. I'm not Meg tonight. I'm a doll who does all sorts of crazy things. Tomorrow I shall put away my fuss and feathers and be desperately good again. I'll try and be what love calls to me. A little woman. That was a good quote. Before I forget, I got into college again for another 2 years doing High National Diploma for Technical Theater. Very proud of myself. Hell yeah, Carrie, keep crushing it. Good stuff. When you feel discontented, think over your blessings and be grateful. That made me feel all warm and fuzzy. I gave my best to the country I love and kept my tears till he was gone. Why should I complain when both have merely done our duty? And surely we'll be happier for it in the end. I've got the key to my castle in the air. But whether I can unlock the door remains to be seen. If people really want to go and really try all their lives, I think they will get in. For I don't believe there are any locks on the door or any guards on that gate. For love casts out fear and gratitude can conquer pride. That's the quote, the Kender. That's the quote that I was going to read. For love casts out fear and gratitude can conquer pride. Love that. We give up our girls for a dozen fortunes, rich or poor. We will keep together and be happy in one another. I'm not afraid of the storm, for I am learning how to sail my ship. There are many Beths in the world, shy and quiet, sitting in quarters, till needed, and living for others so cheerfully that no one sees the sacrifices. Money is a needful and precious thing, and when well used, a noble thing, but I never want you to think it is the first or only prize to strive for. I'd rather see you poor men's wives than... Oh God, sorry. Then it was that Margaret, sitting alone with tears dropping off and on her work, felt how rich she had been in things more precious than any luxuries money could buy, in love, protection, peace. The scene where Joe and Marmee talks after Amy's accident was so beautiful, I literally highlighted it with a pencil. Poor Joe desperately tried to be good, but her bosom enemy was always ready to flame up and defeat her. There are many Beths, yeah, that was beautiful. Learn how to know the value and praise which is worth having. This is a good quote for the book club. Learn to know and value the praise which is worth having, and to excite the admiration of excellent people by being modest, as well as pretty, as well as smart, I think. Again? Man. Be comforted, dear soul. There's always light behind the clouds. The Girl from Seza is a good South African book. Okay, thank you. I think Saturday night you will find that all play and no work is as bad as all work and no play. If you tell me the chapter number, maybe I can read them. The problem with the quotes are too long, Tina. If you just send me the chapter number and where the quote starts, like the first few lines, I might be able to find it. Oh, that sounds cool, Annie. That sounds awesome. I'll try to be what one loves to call me, a little woman, not be rough and wild, but do my duty here instead of wanting to be somewhere else. All right. So, all in all, this is a lovely and charming book. Is it my favorite? No. But do I hate it? No. It's just difficult to read big chunks of. In one sitting. So we were supposed to get to chapter 20. I think we're only going to read for next week. How far is everyone? The version I have is this one. By Penguin Books. How far has everyone read? Like, is it good if we say we're going to have a catch-up week and we're going to read to part 2 for Sunday this week? So anyone who's already caught up and can read ahead, go ahead and read ahead. And anyone who's not to part 2, this is your week to catch up to part 2. Does that feel good? We're gonna give everyone like a catch up week to the end of part 2. If you're on part 6, you've got a lot of reading to do. If you're on chapter 6, you have a lot of reading to do. If you're on like chapter 11 like me, you've got still a good amount of reading to do, but nothing crazy. If you're on chapter 20, you have like 3 or 4 chapters left. Hell yeah. And if you already read that far and you're past chapter 2, even better. You're more prepared for the next weeks. So, literally part 2. Which is chapter. Hey! Get down. Chapter 24. Part 2 starts with chapter 24. Before we get the Rosende Reads group chat, thought about something. Do not read. Okay. So, for next week, we will read to part 2 of the book. So if anyone else is ahead, awesome. If you're not, this is your week to catch up. I know for this book specifically, I have to create the habit of reading a certain amount every day. I can't know that I have 3 hours available in the next day and I'm just going to read it all. Because sometimes I can do that. This book, I need to develop the habit to chip away at it. I'm going to eat my food now. Oh, look who's back. So I'm going to eat it right now. You crazy cat. Yo te veo. So, I will see you guys Sunday or Monday. Most likely Sunday. I will obviously post about the time and stuff then. Part 2 through chapter 23. Thank you, Rita. So thank you guys for joining. I'm glad we're moderately enjoying this book. So remember, guys, continue questioning, continue learning, continue growing, continue being positive forces of change in your environment, and I will see you guys next week. Have a good one. Peace. Stella, say bye. Oh, you want to pretend like you're not here? Okay. Okay. There's no one over there. Nope, there's no one up there either. All right. Goodbye, guys. Peace.